My fellow Americans. On Tuesday, Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad launched a horrible chemical weapons attack on innocent civilians. Using a deadly nerve agent, Assad choked out the lives of helpless men, women, and children. It was a slow and brutal death for so many. Even beautiful babies were cruelly murdered in this very barbaric attack. No child of God should ever suffer such horror. Tonight I ordered a targeted military strike on the airfield in Syria from where the chemical attack was launched.
Hey everybody, so of course I have been really wrapped into this attack on Syria. So I just kind of want to give some cliff notes as to what I gathered so far. Of course we know that as I posted in a status, McConnell says that there will be no peace in Syria with Assad in power. Mitch McConnell has also made it very clear that we are not friends with Russia. They are not our allies. So let me see where McConnell stands on this whole thing here. I'm reading from my notes, so just kind of bear with me, okay? Trump attacked Syria without congressional approval. And he also did not have support from the United Nations or NATO. So he kind of went in this on his own to send a message to Assad, who is he's the president of Syria, and of course he is allegedly the one who dropped the chemical airstrikes on the city around Damascus that of course killed hundreds of children and women and as well as men. There has been talk from a senator as well that they do believe China, Russia, and North Korea are debating what the motives are behind the U.S. and where the U.S. lies. That's not cute. Senator James Rich said that our founding fathers had rules in place in terms of going into attacking a country, and those rules have been deteriorating over the decades, over the years, because new government comes in and they think they're all high and mighty and they can do what they want. So that's where that stands as well. What really set Trump over the edge to just go in and balls to the wall attack Syria was the photos floating around about the children being killed. And if you see it, I swear it would probably set you over the edge too, because when I watched a video about it, I literally cried. It is very heartbreaking and something humans should never have to go through, especially children. But that was the reason for his, abrupt decision to attack Syria. And a lot of people say it wasn't an attack on Syria, that we just attacked an airbase, but let me tell you something. If someone were to come here and bomb Central Park in New York City, just the reservoir in the middle of Central Park where no one is, if someone were to drop a bomb there, that would still be an attack on the U.S. Same thing with Syria. Even though we just bombed an airfield, it is still an attack on Syria. And that's how they're going to see it. That's how Russia sees it. That's how Syria is going to see it. So it doesn't matter what we think here in America if it was an attack on them or not. If they see it that way, that can lead to serious problems. Some shits I don't want to be around for, quite honestly. What confuses me, and I've seen a lot of people talk about this. Now, it actually does warm me to see Trump so bothered at the fact that there are actually people, being murdered and killed, and he wants to do something about it. That lets me know that Trump has a heart after all the bullshit that he's done. But what confuses me is he had this travel ban in place. He had something in place that refused refugees, Syrian refugees, to come here and find a better place. But now he's bothered that they're being killed. Some people say there's a motive behind it, but I'm not sure. Maybe this could have just been his wake-up call. We don't really know. And of course, we know that there were 59 missiles dropped on the Syrian airbase by American Navy ships. Trump ordered this attack to send a message, air quotes, to the Syrian president Assad. I would say his whole name, but I don't know it. And soon, actually, right now, I'm watching the live coverage. The UN is to be holding an emergency meeting regarding the attack, and Russia should be speaking. So we'll actually see how that's going. I have been up to my head with the news because it's just it's the craziest thing I ever witnessed. I mean, I witnessed 9/11 and now this. It's just kind of breaking news last night. I'll never forget. My friend called me and told me about it. And the next thing I know, I'm turning on the news and there it is. A lot of people, including myself, quite honestly, do believe that this may lead to World War III. Because you got to think about it. We have Russia. We have Syria. We have us. We have North Korea, but we don't really know what's going on with North Korea. That little boy's just playing with his bombs, trying to make them go far. But you never know. As I stated, they do believe China, North Korea, and Russia are in cahoots right now about what happened. And that's not good. Especially since North Korea has been threatening the U.S. for quite some time now. So we really just have to wait and see. I don't want to be a part of it, but it looks like this is our history and how it's supposed to play out. I just hope they have a plan, but we'll see. There's something else I need to tell you, and I'm trying really hard to wrap my head around it. That's what it was. Part of it is that, of course, Russia has said that there will be consequences if there is attack on Syria, which doesn't make sense to me because the main goal here is to take out ISIS, and now, I guess, Assad. I mean, I don't know if Assad is part of ISIS or not. I have no idea, so don't quote me. But the goal is to take out ISIS, but no one wants to attack ISIS. But Putin said, no, there will be dire consequences to the U.S. if they, attack Syria. Now, they did say last night that the U.S. did reach out to Russian military before the attack to let them know that it was, in fact, going down. But we don't really know how they feel about that yet. That's what, hopefully, they will be speaking in the UN meeting, but we'll see. Also, I don't have it written down. Also, in Syria, they have that no intercept treaty law thing to where, when you're flying, no one can intercept or get hurt. So, like, if the U.S. is taking out ISIS stronghold and Russia, they let Russia wear so Russia doesn't fly through, get hurt, blah, blah, blah. Well, now that has been lifted, which means now, for the time being, I do think it's just momentarily, USA and Russia can intercept each other. That's scary as fuck. But they can do that because that treaty thing has been lifted. So if the USA flies in and tries to attack a part of Syria, Russia can take them down. Vice versa. Russia wants to do it, USA can take them down. That's scary as fuck. But we'll, it's a scary thought, but we don't know if it will actually happen. But it has been lifted for the time being. I don't even know what to say because that's creepy. But I think I'm actually going to end it here because I got to gather more. I'm trying to focus on you all and the TV behind. So I'll keep you all posted for the ones who are actually following this. I love that I see some, which is saddening, but I see some of my friends on Facebook actually staying woke and following this because this will affect our future. This will affect our children, our grandchildren. This is, this could potentially be a war. So we'll see how it goes. All right. I'll keep you updated. gather more information about all the Congress and the UN meeting over the attack on Syria, Trump actually did meet with the Chinese president, and during his conversation, it was a lot of ass kissing, if you will. He's basically just given, you know, compliments to the Chinese president, and along with saying that progress has been made as far as the connection between the two. Um, the trade relationship between the U.S. and China were also on the table during this conversation. And Trump made it clear that he needs help from the Chinese president to get North Korea off of his back because, as we all know, North Korea has been making numerous threats to come after the USA. But there was absolutely no mention of the Syrian attack. Russia and Iran condemn U.S. for the attack. I just watched the UN emergency meeting where the Russian envoy was not happy, but I'll get to that in just a second. One of our senators made a statement saying that our support for Assad is not unconditional. So they really could not just stand by while they dropped chemical bombs on a town outside of Damascus in Syria. These are words from Trump himself, stating Assad caused brutal death for so many, but the Syria strike was vital to the U.S. national security. Senator Rubio said attack raises cost of Assad aggression. Now, some things were brought to my attention while I was doing some research. These are from other viewers who allegedly say Syrians and Russians both knew about the missile attack beforehand, and that the airfield was actually evacuated 24 hours prior to the attack. Allegedly, less than half of the missiles hit the target. So we threw roughly 60 and only about 30 or so hit. A lot of viewers are calling this just a setup and to keep us blinded, and it's another distraction. A viewer actually called it distractions, deflections, and deceit. Now, back to the Russian UN envoy, Vladimir Safrankov. I hope I got that right. I probably did not. But he did say U.S. aggression strengthens terrorism. He called the U.S. action illegitimate, and that there were no professional alternatives. He stated that himself and other Russian, senators have brought so many opportunities or options to the table, and the U.S. just was not having it. And he also said that the U.S. is undermining progress in Syria peace talks. I'm not sure what much peace talks has to do with anything because children are being bombed with chemicals, but he was very upset, and I love this. I'm going to jump right into it. He was talking about the chemical attack in Iraq that was just a while back, and he questioned the U.S. and saying, are Iraqis just second-class citizens that no one cares about because it wasn't in no headlines, it wasn't in no newspapers. He called it complete hypocrisy to not worry about Iraq chemical bombs as well. And he even asked if those people are in a different category since it's in the Middle East. I know Syria is too, but you know how the history goes with Iraq. And that happened in Mosul, where he gave a story about where a little girl was in her home and bombs dropped all around her and killed everyone except her. And she's better now, but she's actually going blind. It's very heartbreaking. And then Vladimir also said the U.S. attack was a flagrant violation of international law. And then when he was talking about what's going on in Iraq, he said his exact words were, "Look at what you are doing and look at what we are doing. We are on two completely different wavelengths." So there's a lot of tension right now. A lot of people are very pissed off and confused and don't know what to do. And He said it's a complete backwards ass move to drop bombs and then say we need to find a peaceful route to make it better. So I'm still watching. I'll probably be doing it all day. I will continue to keep everyone updated and see where this lands us.